That's a kaka calling.
Yeah, hi guys, day 2 at Nelson Lakes. I'm just walking the Honeydew Walk today. It's like a short 30-minute forest trek up into the forest up above Lake Rotoiti. So we'll just head on up the trek and we'll have a look and see what we can see. This is the beginning of the track network heading off Kerr Bay and Nelson Lakes National Park. So Bushline and Angelus Hut have to be paid for and booked before you go up there, and they're always full, especially over the summer, so make sure you do that. So I'm just setting off into the forest. I'm walking down to do the Honeydew Walk. So there's some information panels there that tell you a whole lot of information about Nelson Lakes National Park and the forest up here and what they're trying to do. There's a wee map of the tracks in the area. You're walking along the lake edge to start with. It's the track running down next to Lake Rotoiti. Talking about invasive species that invaded the area up here, plants and animals. There's a whole lot of these information panels down here, basically describing all the plants that you're seeing. That one there is broadleaf. So we're just climbing up onto this hill, and then we're sidling along up above Lake Rotoiti. There's the side track to the St Arnaud range. We'll also be coming back down that side track. We're just heading straight ahead down that track in front of us. So this is the Lakehead Track. So the Lakehead Track, it heads to the top of Lake Rotoiti and then into the Travers Valley. We're only walking about another 100 metres up the track here, and then we head off onto the Honeydew Track. So there's the side track in the beginning of the Honeydew Track. So the Honeydew Track heads up and further away from the lake. If you keep going that way, you're heading up to the Travers Valley. We'll go up there sometime so I can show you Lakehead huts, one of my favourite huts. On the Honeydew Walk. Lake Rotoiti is just visible through the trees down there. There's some big red beech trees up in this forest, so there's one there in front of us, so you can see. They're quite tall and the trunks of them are actually quite thick. Yeah, this forest is a beech forest, so there's all different species of beech in here. So the predominant beech trees are silver beech, but you got mountain beech, red beech, black beech as well, the ones that the honeydew come off of. That's a kaka calling. It's a type of native forest parrot. Nelson Lakes has got quite a strong population of kaka living up here now. This type of forest is exactly perfect for them. They like these big red beech trees that you have in the forest. You do get kea up here as well sometimes, but they're not as common up here. We're a bit too far north for the kea. You will get them over in the Owen mountain range, which is over to the west of us. Yeah. The panel over there is talking about the kind of birds that live up here, the birds and invertebrates and stuff. It talks about kaka in the panel. Quite nice weather up here today. The weather's supposed to pack in tomorrow morning, so I'll try to get a walk in tomorrow before I head back to Christchurch, but we'll just have to see. Bit of goblin forest up here. All the moss and the lichen and stuff has covered up all the rocks and the fallen trees. It's looking back down the track from near the apex of the track. It's a big red rock there. Didn't fall down off of a rock face because we're, oh god, probably about 2 k's away from the closest mountain. Would have been pushed down here by the glacier in times past. The interesting thing though is look at the tree over here growing up on top of it. So there's only like maybe a centimetre of soil there, but still that tree's managed to grow on top of that rock. Just that little bit of extra elevation means it gets more sunlight. Mother Nature, she knows how to get stuff done. Yeah, this is a big solid chunk of rock here, so this would have always been here. Yeah. Interesting little shelf, looks out over the forest. Just would have been eroded bit by the big massive glacier that came down this valley 20,000 years ago. You can see the glacial action where the glacier's been going over the top of this rock. It's kind of like, it's got scratches all up it from where like little pieces of gravel would have been going up of it. It's looking out across the forest. I can hear kaka in the trees in the distance. I'm closing in on the side track up to the Pancake Rocks and the top of the St. Arnaud range. It's just in front of me, about maybe 40 metres. You can probably see a slight shimmering on that tree. What that is, that's actually honeydew, and so it's like a sugary sweet secretion from this beetle that bores into the black beech trees up here, and it provides foods for birds, different kind of invertebrates. Yeah, that's the stuff that the German wasps like to gather up. That's what basically helps them have such high numbers up in this forest. These trees are all covered in that honeydew. There's the junction with the Pancake Rocks and St. Arnaud Range track, just there in front of us. So we're at the junction with the St. Arnaud Range track. The walk up to the St. Arnaud Range is really awesome. It takes about maybe three and a half hours to get up to the top. And then there's all these tarns along the top of the ridges up there where you can actually set up camp. No organised campsites, you just basically make your own campsite. Even if you only walk up to the Pancake Rocks, which takes about maybe 2 hours, 2.5 hours, you have these amazing views down on Lake Rotoiti, and you can see all the way down the spine of the Southern Alps, like right down. Sometimes you can even see Mount Cook in the distance. Yeah, and also because you're up on top of the ridge, you can see over the ridge and out to Nelson, because that's actually like about 1900 metres up there, and there's no mountains between here and Nelson that are higher than 1900 metres. Yeah, I've been up there 2 times, once back in the 80s, and I went up there, I think about maybe 2015, 2016. Yeah, I'd like to get back up there sometime, you know. I was considering it when I was thinking about this trip, but I just figured my ankle's a bit dicky at the moment. I just figured it wouldn't like handle walking for that far, because it's like a 6 or 7 hour return trip. Yeah, I'll do it sometime in the future. I might do it next year, like early in the year. We'll just see. That's looking down the St. Arnaud Range track. You can already see like the track quality immediately deteriorates. That's like a proper tramping track. This track we're walking around is more like a great walk, day walk kind of track, you know, front country. Yeah, that's definitely a backcountry track. So the St. Arnaud Range track is also the beginning of the Loop track, which is another track up here, another short track. That one's a wee bit longer. It's about an hour and a half to go all the way round. I think it's like maybe 4 kilometres to circuit, whereas this one I'm walking on would be less than a K, probably about a K, 900 metres, something like that, yeah. So from here we just go back on the beginning of the Honeydew Walk there, St Arnaud Range track, and that takes us back to Kerr Bay, where the campsite at the beginning of this walk, yeah. That's a Doc 2000 pest trap. There's a lot of them up in this forest. There's a group called the Friends of Rotoiti that do trapping programs up here, and they trap introduced pests like rats, stoats, that kind of thing. Yeah. So a Doc 2000 has a bait at one end of it. It's normally like an egg or like a piece of cheese, because that's a thing that rats and stoats will go for, that kind of stuff, especially eggs. Stoats love eggs, and they go in there, and what happens is a trapdoor basically slams down on them, and you know, it breaks their neck. They are pests, of course, so I don't have a whole lot of sympathy for them. Just another panel detailing what the Rotoiti Nature Recovery Project is doing. They're the ones that are trying to bring back all of the bird species and get rid of all the pests and introduce plant species that are in the forest up here. I just ran into somebody that I used to work with at the library about 5 or 6 years ago. Yeah, New Zealand's such a tiny country. You're constantly running into people that you know. Even when you're in some completely random place, you know, you'll run into some Kiwi. There's the sign down there going back on the main Lakehead Track. Interesting bark on that tree there. So that's the end of the Honeydew Walk. The main Lakehead Track is just right next to us here. So there's the main track again. We'll be heading to the right, and that takes us back out to Kerr Bay, where the car's parked. That's another wee short trek down by the lake. It's Mount Robert. Travers Valley there, in the St Arnaud range. There's the end of the track in the Kerr Bay campsite, down by the boat ramp. end of the trek. So there's a pile of tracks and huts up here in Nelson Lakes. Yes, the Honeydew Walk is a nice wee walk from Kerr Bay. Only takes you about maybe 40 minutes return. Worth doing if you don't have very much time. It's probably the best walk to do if you don't have much time here.